only on Christ 17 TV. Back upside your head with another one. Today we got Major League players I grew up on, episode 11. Today we got one of my old school favorites who got probably the coolest nickname in the game, Mr. Fred McGriff, aka the Crime Dog, the motherfucking Crime Dog. Boy, was he something to watch. Hall of Famer, off the rip. Took him 19 years to put my boy in the Hall of Fame, but he finally got in there. So, we got a 5-time All-Star. We got 493 home runs, 19 years. So, he spent half of his time in the American League, half of his time in the National League. American League, he had 269 bombs, home runs, bombs. In the National League, he had 224 bombs, bombs. And, you know, it's cool, he was born on Halloween in 1963. He's a Halloween child. World Series champ with the Braves in 95, 2-time home run champ. Now, check this. He was the first player ever to lead the American League in home runs and then go to the NL and lead them in home runs in 1989 and 1992. This guy was consistent as they come. 10 years with over 30 jacks, 30 home runs, 30 bombs. See ya, goodbye, home run. 5 years with the Blue Jays, 5 years with the Braves, 5 years with Tampa, 2 years with the Chicago Cubbies, and 1 year with them LA Dodgers. Now, consistency is the key to a long career in baseball. And this guy was as consistent as they came. He had 13 years played with over 140 games in a season. Do you know how rare that is nowadays that you get that many games in without getting hurt, without taking days off? Back then, players played every single freaking day. To play 140 games or more for 13 years is just amazing, and it's the way you take care of yourself, a little bit of luck without getting hurt, and it's just... that guy was amazing, man. He debuted in May 17th, 1986. Toronto's last game was July 15th. His last game was July 15th, 2004 with Tampa Bay. Now, consistency is always the damn key, right? So let me tell you this. How about having 80 RBIs, 80 runs batted in from 1988 to 2002? That's insane. You talking about being consistent, staying healthy. That's my goodness, that's 15 years, counting 1988. But from the 80s all the way to 2002, being that consistent, that healthy, and to do it for that long, 80 RBIs every year for that long is incredible. Like I said, he was the first player to lead both leagues in home runs, the first one. The Hall of Fame took a long time putting this man in, which is a crime itself, to the Crime Dog. Fred McGriff should have been there on the first ballot. The guy was amazing, had a spectacular career. 5-time All-Star. And do you know how hard it was making an All-Star team at first base way back then? Yes, very, very, very hard. But you want to know what? To me, when I used to be at my grandma's house and watch him playing for them Brave teams, he would have some clutch ass hits, clutch ass bombs, and that 95 team, that 95 team that finally won the World Series, that was a fucking team. That was because you gotta think about it. The Braves would always they would win the NL East every single year. Every single year they would win it. But they only had one World Series out of all those NL East times they won it. I mean, they won it probably like, how many times? Like almost 20 times in a row they made it to the playoffs. That is almost insane. That is insane. After the Phillies of, I think, 93, the Braves went on a run and won the East like every single year. Bobby Cox don't get enough credit for being one of the best managers of all time by far. And that team was crazy. And when they added Fred McGriff to that team, that put them over the top. Left-hand fucking batter with pop. Played a hell of a first base. He was always in the lineup. Consistency with him was really the key to having a long career. I mean, he only played there five fucking years with the Braves, but it felt like he played there for 10 years. Just the impact he had on that team. I mean, all-star, Hall of Fame guy, the crime dog. He had this dope commercial I wish I could fucking have on here, but I don't have it. But he was amazing, and just for him, just to take 19 years to put him in the Hall of Fame was bullshit. Was straight bullshit. Well, I think it takes you 5 years after you retire. So say 14 years to put this man in the Hall of Fame was straight bullshit. The guy had 493 bombs. He had 14 years with 80 ribbies or more. Are you kidding me? He led the league, both leagues, in home runs for 2 different leagues. He's a World Series champ. 13 years of playing 140 games or more. This guy was consistent. And he produced. And he was an all-star. He led the league in bombs twice. I mean, what more do you need to be a fucking Hall of Famer? He was 7 short of 500 bombs. And they took their sweet-ass time putting the crime dog in the Hall of Fame, which is a fucking crime by itself. And I just had to give y'all a little bit of love from one of the underrated players, one of the most underrated players ever to play this ball game. And I don't know why it took them 14 years to put him in the Hall of Fame. Like I said, that is a crime by itself that need to be looked into. But like I said, he debuted May 17, 1986 for the Toronto Blue Jays, and he played his last game July 15, 2004 for Tampa Bay. So with that being said, man, hit that like, hit that subscribe. It won't cost you a dime. And like I tell you every time around this time, these are Major League players I grew up on. Episode 11 with the crime dog, Fred McGriff. One of the most underrated players of my time and of all time. That is a fact. So with that being said, I will catch you guys on the flip side and be looking out for episode 12. Who will I bring in episode 12? We don't know, but it's coming to a YouTube near you. Catch you on the flip side, player.